Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I just want to let you know, was a huge challenge for me. It is a tutorial using absolutely no makeup brushes whatsoever. I applied everything using my hands or my fingertips, and if you watch my videos, you know that I do not apply anything but primer with my hands. Unless it's like a cream highlighter, I may dab a little bit on my cheeks with my fingers sometimes, but I am that type of person that absolutely hates using products with my hands, with my fingers, and I know a ton of makeup brands, you know, say that's the best way to apply their products. I've just always been such a big brush user. So I challenged myself for today's video to do a full makeup look using absolutely no brushes, and I thought this might be helpful for those of you who don't have a large brush collection, or say you are on a trip and you forget your brush bag at home and you have absolutely no brushes. This is just kind of how I worked my way through and products that I used to create basically an entire makeup look using no eye makeup brushes, you know, no concealer brushes, no foundation brushes. I wouldn't even use the brush on the end of my eyebrow pencil. I did my eyebrows without brushing through them, which is really hard for me to do as well. So this is the look that I did. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure if you like these types of videos to let me know, because these are things that I don't normally do on my channel, but I love a good challenge, and if you guys like it, then I can come up with some more videos like it. The look is fairly neutral and I feel like anybody could wear this, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I'm going to start out by priming with my Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, and I always apply primer with my hands. That is the only thing that I use my hands for, and you guys probably noticed that in my videos anyways. I'm just going to apply a small amount of this stuff. This is a new primer for me, and I know people rave about it, but I'm still trying to figure it out. It reminds me a lot of the NYX Angel Veil, and I know people have said that's a dupe for it before. So I feel like I would probably just rather buy the, you know, the NYX version of this. For foundation, I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more on the matte side, since we really are going to have deep brushes to use to set the face with powder. So I'm using my NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint. I'm in the shade Finland Light 1, and I think I'm going to take my ring off because you guys don't understand how badly I hate applying foundation or products with my fingers. Like, I don't know, something about it just really bothers me, but I'm doing it. We're gonna see how it goes. Let's go. Okay, so I got about this much on my hand. This is pretty full coverage stuff, despite the fact that it's called a skin tint. And I'm just gonna dab it everywhere. I hate this. Oh my gosh, I hate using my fingers. NARS did say that the best way to apply this was using your fingers, so we'll see. So that's one side of my face done. Doesn't look too bad. I feel like once I'm done with this tutorial, I will never use brushes again. I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna get the hang of using my fingers and get super lazy and forget about my brushes. So this is what the foundation looks like after applying it with my hands. It looks pretty good to me, so I'm gonna move on to concealer. I'm using the BECCA Ultimate Coverage Concealing Cream. This one is in the shade Banana, and again, this is something that's super full coverage, and I actually do feel like this will probably blend out a lot better with my fingertips as opposed to using a brush. Just because it is so thick, the warmth of my fingers I feel like is really going to help blend this in better. I think I've actually used this with my fingers before. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of that on underneath my eyes. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way. It's super easy to overuse this. So I don't feel like anything feels too abnormal right now. You know, foundation and concealer, I feel like you can get away really easily by using your fingers, but you know, your bronzer, your blush, all that, I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me. I'm going to put a little bit on my cheeks right here. I feel like the NARS Skin Tint didn't cover as well there, so just gonna add a little bit more. So I feel like everything is pretty blended out right now. I'm still kind of feeling like I like the results better with a brush, but it's not looking too bad. So for bronzer, the only thing I could think that I could do to contour bronze my skin would be to use a cream contour palette. So I have my Mauve Sculpt palette, and this one is in the shade Fire. This is more of like the warm tone, and I'm just going to use my fingers, I guess, with the lightest brown shade in here, and we're gonna try to bronze up the skin. I do not know how this is gonna work out because this stuff is really pigmented and it's not the easiest contour palette to work with, so we'll just see. I'm just gonna take my middle finger and just press this into my cheeks, or underneath my cheekbones. This looks so crazy. I don't feel like that looks too bad. It's not really contoured, but we're just gonna go with that. We're gonna go with this. So yeah, bronzer is definitely a challenge for me. This is definitely a little too warm for my skin, I feel like, but it's what I've got, so I'm working with it. But I do find that by using my first finger and then my middle finger, it's easier to blend this product in as opposed to just using one finger. I guess because it just disperses it out a little bit more. So that's the update for now. How this is picking up on camera. This palette right here is one of the harder contour palettes to work with just because the products are a little bit more stiff to blend out. But this is about the best that I could do to bronze up my skin. So now I'm going to move on to blush. I'm using a bareMinerals Pop of Passion blush in the shade Mauve Passion, and this I think was a limited edition color. But Max Brit Wit is very similar to this color. And these are so easy to work with because they're like oil balms, that's what they're called. So they're really glowy when you apply them to the skin, and they're just super easy to blend out. So I'm going to move on to highlighter, and now I'm using the Benefit What's Up highlighter, which is my all-time favorite cream highlight, and I'm just going to pat that right above my cheekbone. This is the plan I have concocted on how to set my under eye area in my T-zone. So I'm actually taking a tissue This does not count as a brush. This does not count. And I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of powder. This is my Makeup Forever HD powder. And I guess I'm just gonna press it into the skin with this tissue because that's all that I know to do. And with this concealer, you can't really just like leave it since it is a pretty thick concealer. So yeah, I'm just pressing this into my skin casually, you know, with a paper towel, no big deal. I'm gonna set my contour just a little bit too, or my bronzer, whatever you wanna call what I did over here. No clue what it would be called. So I guess this is it for the face, so I am going to move on to my brows, and I'm just gonna use a brow pencil, but I'm not gonna use the spoolie on the end because I realize that's a brush. So I'm just using my Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil, and I'm just gonna really lightly fill these in. Fill these gals in. I am dying to brush through my brows right now, but I guess I'm just gonna use my fingers to blend out the front of my brow. That's really the only time I use the spoolie, is to like clean up the front of my brow. Oh gosh, do not like the way they look. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get on that brow, so we're just gonna move on. I think that's as good as the brows are gonna get, so I'm moving on to my eyes. I'm taking my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and I'm just gonna use that as my primer, and I'm gonna brush that all over. So I could have opted out and done a really easy eye look with just like a cream eyeshadow, but I really wanted to challenge myself to use actual powder eyeshadow. So I picked out 3 palettes that I feel like will be pretty easy to work from, and I have the Tarte Lit and Bloom palette. I really like the transition shades in that one. I have the Lorac Unzipped palette, and I think I'm going to use the shimmer shades out of there. Then I have the Lorac Unzipped palette to use for shimmery shades, and then the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette for some warmer tones. So I'm going to start out with Tarte Lit and Bloom, I think, and I'm going to take 2 colors. I'm going to mix Flower Child and Smarty Pants, and I'm going to use that as a crease color. I really don't know. I'm just going to use my middle finger, I guess, and just start working that into my crease. I seriously feel like I'm 5 again. It's actually not too bad. It's blending out pretty good. I zoomed you guys in so you could see kind of closer what I'm doing. I'm really just kind of buffing in circular motions back and forth. It's turning out pretty good. I'm actually very shocked right now. Daring and take this dark brown color called Activist, and I'm going to use that on my pinky finger, and I'm just going to kind of smudge this on the outer corner a little bit to give my eyes a little bit more definition. No clue how this is going to turn out, but we're just going to go with it. Charmer, which is this white color, and I'm just going to use this on my brow bone. For some reason my crease color is turning like a little orange on me. I don't know why. Those colors don't normally turn orangey on me. I think I'm going to pick up Sweetheart, this pinker tone, and see if that will tone down like the oranginess. I'm going to take the shade Unreal from the Lorac Unzipped palette and just use that as like a center highlight. And then on top of that, I think I'm going to apply Funny Girl from the Tarte in Bloom palette, just to make it a little bit more on the beigey side. To give my lash line a little bit of definition, I'm going to take Jet Set or Jet Setter from the Tarte in Bloom palette. And again, I'm going to use my pinky and I'm just going to start smudging that underneath my eye. Not too bad, other than the fact that I poked myself in the eye about 20 times. I'm also going to use a little bit of my Teddy eyeliner from MAC and just tight line my upper lid and my lower lash line. The only thing I feel like I cannot get around is mascara, so I'm just going to use regular mascara. I know it's a dang brush, but like, come on. How are we going to get past that? I could use like a toothpick or something to coat my lash individually, but I feel like that would probably piss you guys off because that would take the majority of the video. So I'm just going to use regular mascara. Oh, by the way, this is the Maybelline Colossal Volume Express Mascara. My lipstick, I'm going to apply a little bit of lip liner. I'm using my bareMinerals lip liner in the shade Pumped. And for lipstick, I'm going to be using my fingers as well. I'm using my MAC Pro, what is this? The 6 Modern Browns lip palette. And I think I'm going to take Peach Stock and maybe mix it with a little bit of bronze and create a lip color from that. For lip gloss, I'm going to use my NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline, and I'm just going to pop some on the back of my hand and dab my finger in that and just use that on the center of my lips.